Hello and welcome to the koha-US Baby Devs Special Interest Group July 2025 meeting. Our agenda is now in one document instead of a bunch of documents that are like eight lines long. So we have a couple things on the agenda, including Andrew's batch hold modification testing. Take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, I lost my Zoom window. This is a bug that Emmy in Finland, I think, had been working on, and then Lucas took it over for him because Bywater wants it to happen. Where'd that bug number go? I have it here someplace. But yeah, it's all ready for sign off. I would have signed it off myself. But if someone who doesn't work at Bywater signs off on it, then we can make it go better. I recorded a demo video this morning that I would be happy to give to anyone who wants to watch a video and then say that worked. But we could also sign it off together here. It's a nice tool. It's nice to be able to batch modify holds. And I think I've sufficiently pestered Lucas that it now works in all the ways. I feel like I failed QA on him 1,000 times.
Plus, Owen stepped in and fixed a little bit this morning. So we just didn't have to fix more things. Is that something either Jason or David would be interested in walking through? Or in getting the video from Andrew later?
No, we can do it now. I don't mind. I've got my ATD spun up, so I don't do this very often. So you're just gonna have to walk me through it. Hold my hand like always.
Yeah, looks like the full test plans and comment 121.
And even that is well, there's a little more test plan that's kind of
right.
later conversation. The last part of the test plan is make 1,000 or more holds and see if it dies.
I have tested a bug that was up to 300 or 400 comments once. It was a bit hard to decipher after a while. Yeah,
I wonder what the biggest is, and then what's the highest number of comments, and then what's the highest number of comments on something that actually got in. Because I bet the winner's some in discussion, never gonna move, crazy idea.
I wonder how many comments the permissions rewrite has.
Sure. Or the circ rules overhaul that never went anywhere.
Yeah. Andrew, do you want to step Jason through since you know all the steps?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna check out this bug, right? Do I need to look at stuff before I apply the patch?
No.
Okay, so like that. And then
Oh, it's got the world's tiniest dependency, which was just a fix to some sidebar menu stuff.
so I say yes here.
Go ahead and say yes to that. And then it's going to ask you, yeah, you want to apply that other bug.
Okay.
And yeah, you want to apply this one.
Okay.
And then you want to update database. And then reset underscore all. And then that's everything you need to do in the terminal once it's done with that. So you probably could have reset or restarted all instead of reset all. Yeah. So Lucas nicely like broke the test plan out into thematic sections. The first chunk is just make sure that you have to have the permission to use the tool, and you can't get there if you don't have it. So it's give somebody that permission, take that permission away.
Okay. So I need to make a new user for that.
Or just grab an existing person.
I normally use Henry.
Yeah, I use Henry for everything.
Because they have to be a staff one as well.
Yeah, they'll need at least catalog. They don't really have to have anything else. Might be good to give them one other thing in tools, like a one non-batch modify holds thing, so that they can see, so they can get in the module and see that it's not there.
Okay. So but it says I should give them batch modify as well.
Yeah,
And then I need to
okay, so
log
then if
in
you,
as them.
yeah.
Oh no.
One of these days, I'm going to remember to make a SQL file that changes that in Koha testing Docker for me, because it is something it's a system preference I change all the time.
I use a word with a capital like policy and then add a number like 10. Or you could do what you said.
Yeah. I end up making it capital Henry with a capital H, 1, 2, 3. But I really want to make it just Henry Henry. Anyway,
Okay. Tools page.
yeah.
Note that there is a batch modify holds. Yes. I should have opened that in a private browser.
Yeah.
Oops. I'll go back to this one in the private browser. Okay. Okay, so it's there. Remove the permission from the user. This one. Now the tool is gone. Okay.
I also like I know I did this already on this one, but so I know it works, but it's also with permission things, it's usually worth keeping the page open on the user and trying to reload it once you've removed their permission. Because I have seen bugs where it was where the permissions were set up such that if you've got permission, you see the link, but if you don't have permission and you've like bookmarked that page, you can get there anyway.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But
Okay.
I did like test that on this one. I could tell you it works, but all
We can
this
do
is
it.
sharing a SQL snippet with me. Ooh.
So if I click into it, then take the permission away to make sure
Yeah.
they fully don't have access if they have
Yeah.
some sort of backdoor. Okay,
Cool.
so that worked.
I think that's a lesson we've learned as a community, but it is something I've seen happen before.
Back. Mm, Okay, so what's next? Number 7. Navigate to tools match modify holds.
Well, yeah, so now you're going to need some holds to fiddle with.
Okay.
What I did this morning was I just went to one bib and put like 15 holds for the same patron on it, and then ran through those and put expiration dates on some, suspension dates on others.
No, I need a book.
Oh,
DVDs
also
can't
your
have
circ,
holds, right?
yeah, probably. And your circ rules are gonna by default limit you to 2 holds per patron, which is an easy change, but put that in the,
I want to be that restrictive.
yeah.
Do.
I haven't
see edit
used it for a while, but there's a bunch of, I think it's Nick. He's got a Git repository you can put in your shared folder. It's called
Yeah.
Handy Koha script, and you can place like a whole lot of random holds.
Yeah, and actually I think that does put like random values into the suspensions and stuff. That would work pretty well here.
Okay, so you said do some suspensions and
Yeah.
other stuff.
Like make at least one suspended with a date, one suspended without.
Okay.
Maybe set an expiration date on something. It also searches by pickup library, so change one or two of them. It can search by found status, so if you want to check one in and make it be something other than pending.
Okay, put that in
I think it
transit.
searches by his note. Actually, I guess you can't add a note to a hold once it's made, which is annoying.
Oh, I ran out of items because there's only one item on this record. Let's-
No, but why can't you make more holds?
Because I put that the one in transit. So it's unavailable.
Oh, okay.
Let me just get another record. And there are 2 street records.
Yeah.
I should have started with this one. Okay. We'll do somebody different. How about we just nope. Edna. Okay, so this is a hold note. Okay.
All right. So then you should be cool to go back to the tool and do some searches.
I'm in the wrong person. This is my person. Okay. So
Yeah, if you search with no criteria, it will bring back all of the holds in your system. Oh,
no, that's forbidden.
why?
Is it because I don't have enough permissions to see hold stuff?
Can you not see holds? You can modify holds, but you can't view holds.
Oh, maybe.
Because I can't see patrons.
You can't see patrons. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe make Jordan a super librarian.
Or go and do it in your other one, since you
Yeah.
already tested the permissions.
Oh, sure. You can do that.
Oh no, your password's insecure.
Yeah. Modify hold. Okay. So if I search,
Okay, cool.
that was good. We checked that you can't use this tool to see things you shouldn't be able to see. Okay. So there's everything. So my expiration date is 7/30. So that should give me one. Forget what my other criterias were.
Yeah. One of the
In
things I
transit.
noticed this morning was expiration date searches were working with only providing one date, but suspensions were requiring both. At this point, they both work as a single date search.
That worked. Suspended. I had 2 that were suspended. That looks right. And I had a bunch that were not suspended. That looks right. My note.
And this is like inherently truncated both ways, like wildcard search. You can wildcard it like SQL too if you want to put in a percent or an underscore.
Seems like it works.
Yeah, I don't know
The
what.
only-
Yeah, that's advanced searching. I don't know what you would need it for.
You never know. Okay. That worked. Ooh, it's got the multi thing. I like that.
The multi-thing is nice. I don't know why it arranges
That's weird.
that way in the drop down or in the little box.
A little Tetris going on, but that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't think too hard about it.
Okay. So
I
should
think
search
that's
for
something select to or whatever it is does already. Yeah, so it's an existing thing. So
okay. So the only thing I didn't
noticed.
test was the other statuses.
Yeah.
Is this the not for loan status?
No, this is a thing I learned testing this bug. A SIP check-in can put a hold into in processing, but that's the only way for a hold to get there. That's for like a materials handler that you want to sort them all into a bin so somebody can go back later and check them in again and print the hold slips.
Okay. I don't think I can test that.
No, I mean like theoretically you could emulate SIP but yeah, let's not.
I don't want to.
I would think testing the waiting and in transit both work would be sufficient.
Okay, so let's test waiting by making this hold wait at that institute branch. It's waiting now. And if I filter down to just waiting, I get just waiting. Okay. I kind of just clicked around a bunch and I have not been reading the test
I mean,
plan.
I think I think that was steps 8 and 9.
Okay.
And then 10 through 12 is modify something and see that it worked.
Okay. Oh, as in change.
Well, like change it with the batch modify tool.
Oh, actually use the tool that
Yeah.
it's not just a search tool, it does stuff. Okay. All right. So if I want to take some of these and I want to say, let's suspend them
Sure.
and tell a date. And then it just does it.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Okay. And then like I could do this one and clear the note.
The test plan says to confirm this also from database. And like, I don't know, you can write a report that shows that those things changed, but I don't know how it would show it to you different on the screen if they weren't also changed in the database.
You do that.
But we can indulge, Lucas. Yeah, there's your 3 suspended holds.
And I don't have any with notes.
Hmm.
I don't know where notes is. Reserve notes, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me add some notes and refresh that. All right. Back to the tool.
There's no way to add notes. Oh
Is
no, you
it
did
this?
add notes. Okay. This is now the only way to add notes to a hold that already exists.
That's like new functionality.
Yeah.
I added notes to these. Okay.
So
And there they are.
yeah, cool. Steps 13 through 16 are confirm that it won't let you suspend a hold that is either in transit or waiting, which is good. That would be annoying.
So I want to try and suspend this because it's waiting. And it says I can't.
Mhm.
And it won't let me. Confirmed.
Steps 17 through 22 are confirm that if you write a report that has reserve IDs in it, it gives you a send these to batch modification option.
I did that already.
Yeah, handy dandy.
So I want to batch hold modification. Ooh. And if I do like I only get 5. Okay, cool. That worked.
All right. Steps 23 through 26 are make sure that if you have more than one page of results, that you can select something on like page 1 and something on page 3, and it will correctly get the things you selected.
Okay, so I need more holds.
Yeah, I ended up doing this by monkeying around until I had a hold with a note on page 1 and a hold with a note on page 2, so I could really be sure I was getting the right ones.
No, that didn't work. Okay, search. I only have 16.
I think you can make it only show 10 on the screen.
But shouldn't I have more? Could I just place a bunch?
Maybe.
Do I only see them if they're at my branch? No, I'm seeing
There's
center
something
reveal.
already. Oh yeah, your search is filtering down on something. What?
Filtered from. Oh, is it because I got here from the reports?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay. So there's some like background filter that I don't see if I get there from reports.
That sounds like a follow-up bug that I don't
Yeah.
want to think about.
I was gonna say it's like we should definitely mention that on the bug, but I don't think it's a blocker for this.
Okay.
Slightly haunted.
Okay, so you said make sure there's some notes on multiple pages, so I can add a note over here. And then
It has plopped you back on page 2 instead of
I am
starting
on page,
over on page 1.
and that's what we wanted to see because I modified something on page 2. So it took me
Yeah,
back
and
there.
one, if you pick something from page 1 and something from page 2, does it give you the correct 2 titles? Yeah.
Yes, I didn't do anything to them because I didn't fill anything out,
Yeah.
but it worked. And then it takes me back to page
Yeah.
4, which is the second one I chose.
Yeah.
I guess that's legit.
Seems a little weird, but
I mean, it makes sense on like if you're just doing one, but
yeah.
we're batch modifying, so I don't know.
Yeah. So then the last thing on here that didn't make it into the test plan but came up in conversation after was that this page was failing if you modified too many holds because it was trying to put all of their hold IDs into the URL.
Oh,
And the point of failure was somewhere between like 30 and 1,000.
okay.
If you go to any old bib record and tell it to just make 1,000 holds for the same person, it'll do that in 30, 45 seconds without dying. If you tell it to make 2,000 holds, it'll do that very slowly and will die several times. It didn't like that at all.
I want somebody new. So you said 1,000 is safe.
Yeah. It's gonna think about this.
was going to say the bug said this is an enhancement, but I think it's a new feature, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not currently a way to batch modify holds, so I think it's a new feature.
Yeah, I suppose technically. The fanciest of enhancements.
Like when I added group libraries to local holds priority, that's an enhancement to local holds priority.
Yeah.
But there's not a way to batch modify holds, so that makes sense. I was starting to forget that number, Andrew, and then when we recorded the Monday minutes last week, I remembered it, and now it's still stuck in my brain.
I don't think I have any bug numbers that I like still retain. Bugs that
That's
were
the,
so traumatic, they're in there forever.
that's the only one, and really, it was pretty recent still.
Yeah.
I added a link to the handy script in the agenda, as well as I put my custom SQL file in that I have in a shared folder. It started with just the first three because I kept getting annoyed at having to change those. And then I've just slowly been adding things like the ILL requests are new because I was testing an ILL thing. And I was like, I don't want to have to make this every time I'm testing an ILL thing. I'll just have it make me an ILL request and turn on ILL because I test a lot of ILL bugs.
Pedro created some little scripts that he had in his GitHub repository. So you just ran curl and then it would enable, it had a string of commands and you'd run curl and it would enable the system preference and add a whole lot of requests and do weird things. It was quite handy, really. So you didn't need to go through all the palaver and setting things up. I was going to say the bug that I worked on that I think I've come across that had the most comments, it's up to 932 now, was recalls.
Ooh,
So I
yeah.
remember that bug number, 19532. Because yeah, there was a zillion patches, so every time you fix something, it would, so every time there was something, added another 30 patches.
Yeah.
30 comments.
The highest one I found was new koha calendar. And that's the same kind of thing where they rebase it every time there's a major release because they're using it.
Mm.
But it hasn't pushed through community, so it's up to 400.
I underestimated how long this would take, Jason. Sorry.
Yeah, when should I abandon ship?
I mean, you can reload the page now and it'll tell you how far it's gotten. I'm guessing it's like 800 something.
Here we go. It's run for the money today. I think you're.
I'm at 535.
All right.
So back here,
Yeah, try to batch modify all of the ones that have been made so far. See if it gets mad at you. Yeah, 636. That's a good big number of holds.
Because I guess large libraries with lots of holds and lots of patrons, you would have a zillions of holds, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know that I would ever, as a librarian, be super confident whacking 1,000 holds at a go here, but nice to have the option.
Well, it didn't hate that. It
Yeah.
took a second, but
Aud's creating a how-to tutorial on what to do when you temporarily close a library. So I'd imagine batch modifying holds when it makes it in would be a useful thing to add to that. Yeah.
For
As
sure.
one of the things you could do to
I think it gave up.
I'm tired. Honestly, I think it's still working because it's going so slow loading that page. I suppose it is then loading all the holes.
Yeah, it's a big table to load.
But 1,000 holds on one record doesn't seem out of line for our larger partner libraries. And, your new James Patterson or whatnot.
Yeah, that's way more than we would ever hit here, but no, it's still cooking up because I was at like 635 over there and I'm at 678 over here.
And honestly, like you could sign off on the bug and then kill your testing Docker if you want to. It doesn't need to finish this.
Okay, so what's next?
That's it.
That's it.
You
We
would
tested.
how many bugs we got on this? You gotta sign off on the number of bugs that are on this patch or on this switch that. The number of patches that are on this bug. Looks like 7.
7. I got 7.
Yeah. So get 7.
And
And
then
then attach those back to the bug, yeah.
36135. Is that right? 36135. Okay.
And then
And
the real gibberish.
head. Tilde
Mm-hmm.
7. Is that right?
Yeah. And then 2 dots.
2 dots. I
Dot,
was
dot.
going to say.
I always forget the dots.
I don't know what the 2
before.
dots do, but I was told to do 2 dots, and if you don't do 2 dots, it doesn't work. So
I only recently learned what the .e does. I was taught up front, I don't know what the .e does, but it's important. But apparently that prompts it to let you change the status.
I do what?
the dash E, I've always done it that way. Otherwise, you need to go and change the bug in Bugzilla, change the status in Bugzilla.
Yeah, attach those things.
Yes. And then I do I for insert, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, it always seems to come up with a random one of the patches to change the sign-off status. But
delete this one.
no, next one.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, delete the one you want it to go to.
Signed up. Yeah. Okay, and that's it, right?
That's it.
Yep.
Escape :WQ.
Yep.
Network error. I was too slow.
Could be. Well, said it updated the bug. I think maybe it's doing it.
No. With the change to Bugzilla, that wasn't the dash E option wasn't working. So anyway, they managed to figure out it something, but I've always noticed it always has one attempt mostly, and then it has a few more attempts and gets it.
There it goes.
Okay, so it said it signed off on Bugzilla. So it worked.
That's it. It worked.
And then I should probably add a comment about the batch modification thing we ran into where it was like applying a mysterious filter in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I can do that later. Let's see where we're at.
Thank you.
8:28. Still going. Okay, what's next?
Well, I think for that, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. I thought it might be good to talk some about the dashboard because I was going to get Jason's bug number because it doesn't apply again and we need to rebase it. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a little. Here's the dashboard. Although I feel like you're probably all more familiar with the dashboard than some people are, but I still think it'll be good. So we've got a pretty slick dashboard here now for Koha Community. It tells us how long until next release, how busy things have been, which that's kind of nice because you can see like, oh, well, it was Saturday, so yeah, there wasn't as much. You can see if the Jenkins tests are passing for the different, that's like Debian and Ubuntu, KTD passed, what's failing here, which is just kind of like, if there's a lot of red going on, that might be why something's weird in Koha testing Docker, for example, if you're on main and there's lots of red. It gives kind of an overall status tracker here, which if you click on it, will bring up the blockers, criticals, majors. There's lots of nice like color coding, blocker, critical, etc. I don't know what these question mark things are. That's like a little bit newer, and I don't know what it's supposed to be. Or the S and T and M. But should probably ask Martin about that. But it's kind of sorted into like, these are, I'm guessing, the newest bugs in newest to oldest order.
It looks like those symbols are for complexity. So if it's doesn't have a complexity, it's question mark. M is medium.
Small.
Yeah.
It's T. Oh.
Trivial.
Trivial.
If you
Yep. No complexity. Okay, cool. So that's helpful. If you click on any of these, those are bug searches in Bugzilla. So like this would take you to bugs that aren't assigned, I think is what it is. Bugs. Oh, even bugs that are assigned. Just bugs that are confirmed. Oh, and then I bet these ones aren't confirmed. Unconfirmed, including enhancement and new features. Ones that are ready for sign off, it's got bugs separately from new features and enhancements. And these sort most recent activity. So this is like, I believe, yeah. This morning it was marked, it was the last activity on it. And so, or am I wrong there? Because that's more recent. 802. Oh, because this first it sorts by like blocker, critical, normal, then newest activity, because we figured if people are working on it, if we sign off, if we test it and there's a problem, then they'll be more likely to fix it because they were just working on it. Is kind of the reasoning for that I've seen discussed in the Mattermost. Needs QA, this sorts the same way where it puts the like blockers first, bugs, everything. And then this is things that are past QA that the RM, which is currently Lucas, hasn't pushed. And these are ones that are new features that are pushed, so you can kind of get a look at like, oh, this is recent. There's also the 50 oldest needs documenting bugs. which means they need to be updated in the documentation, or it needs to be determined that there isn't a need for documentation, right, David?
Yeah, so the last person in the chain in pushing it to a maintenance release, when they're not going to push it, when it's not going to be applied to that branch, they're supposed to change it to needs documenting. And I'm going through at the moment, just checking all those, because sometimes all the architecture ones and the test suite and all those sort of ones don't need documentation. But sometimes it's really hard to tell whether if there's a change in the UI or they've added some extra things you have to do. So so I try and encourage people to do the release notes so that can figure out what's changed. But yeah, that's quite high, but I've been getting it down. It was 500 and something the other week. So just working away at getting that down.
Yeah. And you can kind of look here too at the average bug lifetime. So you can see reported to merged, coded to merged, resolved, and opened. You can see, yeah, a lot of the spikes come with lots opened, like, there was a new release in May, and then in June there were a bunch of new bug reports as people get more into like testing that. Bug statuses, this is just all the different statuses with like, again, how many total bugs. This link is the total, and then if you just want bugs, this can be helpful. Like needs release notes. I know that especially around release time, like it wasn't as many this time, but the previous release, I think I did like 50 release notes in the week leading up to release because there were so many things that didn't have release notes. Now I try to put release notes on when I sign off something or QA something if they don't have release notes, or I'll say, please add release notes because sometimes it's something where I'm like, I know I could explain this in release notes, but I think that they could probably explain it better in release notes. If it's something that's like not a feature I use as much or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a report that I've got as a tab, and it just lists all the bugs pushed for the next release, and add with a column showing release notes and whether it's empty or not. So
I've also
and then I haven't done it this week. I've been a bit slack, but I try and add a few each day, and text, yeah.
and that's just really helpful to see like, oh, that doesn't have release notes. I should add it.
Yeah, last time I checked, it was sitting about 50, and the next 2511 didn't, 50 or 60 didn't have release notes. So
yeah, I don't know what exactly that. Yeah, that's probably like closer to everything.
That's only where that's that keyword's in the thing in the bug.
Yes. But you can always add release notes, and if you're writing something, you always should add release notes, unless it's something like, I mean, what shouldn't have release notes, I guess, because not everything gets the keyword, and not everything necessarily has release notes. Is that like if it's self-explanatory enough in the summary?
Yeah, although sometimes what's self-explanatory for a developer is different from what a normal librarian would understand. So I try and add it for everything apart from the plumbing and test suites and things like that. So I think it's useful. Because and I always find it easier to add them when after I've tested the bug, because you're familiar with it. It's surprising, like a week later, you can't remember even testing a bug when it comes back, and and you look at it and think, what the hell does this do? Anyway,
Yeah.
but I tried to say this is a fixes, or this is an enhancement, or it's a new feature. And then for fixes, I try and describe what it does this, but it previously did that, which was a bad thing, or what wasn't working properly. If that makes any sense.
Yep. It's also a good place to note if there's like new system preferences or permissions or notices. So it's like really clear up front that there's a new thing there or is removed or renamed. So this just shows translation and manual. Push this cycle, which you can see push to main stable, and old stable. So you can see like Lucas did a lot of push into main on the 30th. Whoever's the RM for stable did a bunch on the 19th. You can also see, I guess this is by organization, but also it's really by person, mostly, because or it's by person and organization. I'm not actually sure. I don't know what the time and hours, if that's like an average or what. That's interesting for both patches and sign-offs. But then we also have a bunch of other tabs up here, which for some reason the links don't want to work right now. Okay. Leaderboard shows like, oh, there's that, lots of pushes again. Rescues, which are rescues. I don't know exactly what counts as a rescue. But I think it's when something's been, oh no, that's not what I meant. I guess it won't show me what the rescued bugs were. David has been doing lots of documentation.
Yeah, although that's a bit of a false thing, because I've just gone through and said this doesn't need documenting. So it's not quite 33 changes to the manual. So yes.
Sign-offs, passed and failed QAs. Rescues for the whole cycle, which is just slightly longer. Again,
I think rescues doesn't apply if you take it. I don't know actually what rescues are. I used to think it was doesn't apply, and then you've fixed it up so that it does apply now, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then for the whole cycle, pass, fail QA also, and sign-offs. And the colors are not, well, that color is David in both. But like, I don't think the colors are the same across the different ones. So, but that's kind of an interesting way to see like who's doing how much. And then for the whole year also. And it's also got links to like the dashboards for the people, which was the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick. So this shows those same like rolling stats, bugs you've reported that are open. Let's see. Needs work. So I have a failed QA cart issue notices. I've got one that's blocked, which I think is actually not blocked anymore. I think that got pushed and I just need to fix it. You can also see there's a couple of nice little helpers. This is the Academy keyword. This is that it had a roadmap tag. These are ones that are assigned to me that I'm working on. It'll be bold if you're not the most recent person who commented. So there's an easy way to be like, Oh, someone else has updated it since the last time I did. Ones that I've claimed QA on here. And this is just all the open bugs that I'm copied on, which is lots. And all their different statuses. So you can see it that way. And you can find anybody's dashboard. So like earlier, I looked up Jason's because I was trying to remember that bug. This one, 364455, because it doesn't apply anymore. But I don't think we have time to rebase it in what's left of our meeting. But if you have time this month, Jason, sometime and want to get together and work on rebasing it, so we can try and push that forward, feel free to ping me. And if not, we'll try and do it next month, and it will be first on the agenda this time. So, but that can be a nice way to be like, oh, I know that this was a JSON patch, but I don't remember what the bug number was, and I don't remember well enough to search for it. Or, you know, sometimes Bugzilla search is weird if you're not doing the exact right keywords. So, that can be helpful. It can also be like, oh, I want to do QA, but I know I want to QA some ILL stuff, so I'm going to go see what's on Pedro's dashboard. Except one of these is old. Okay. So I'm going to be like, oh, all these ILL bugs that need QA. I'll start there. Or whatever. Things like that. You can use it that way. I don't know that anyone really does use it that way. Oh, and it'll show needs release notes here if you have any that need release notes. I try to write my test plan and my release notes as I'm making changes to the code, like in another window. Especially if it's more like the things that I've been working on are big, you know, 2747 and working on like the JS snippets, which is going to have a huge test plan too. So like, I really have to do them separately, but I've been trying to do the release notes when I do those too. And again, that's a nice little icon just to show what's going on. So it's a nice tool. And then there's also links to like, oh, this is not working because there's definitely at least one bug that has a roadmap on it. This is like if you wanted to look at patron. Oh, wait, these are all unclassified. It has to be the classified ones, which I think they have for circulation. There's some classifications. Yeah, so you can see like I want to look at holds circulation bugs in kind of a Kanban style. This is just the maintenance queues for the RMs. So these are like the things that they haven't, things that have been pushed to main that 2505 hasn't declared they're not going to do. I'm guessing these are the ones that have been pushed to 2505 that 2411 hasn't handled yet, etc. Link to the wiki, link to Bugzilla, link to Jenkins, and link to the sandboxes on the wiki. So, and link to the Koha community page. So that's my little dashboards tour. Martin did all of this, and it's been great. The old dashboard had a lot of the information, but it was not as pretty. It can be really helpful to see like all those same like roadmap and needs release notes and stuff. They all show up here too. So it can be a good way to be like, oh, I just need something. Oh, that's a visual bug. Or maybe there's something that needs patches and oh, hey, that's got the academy. So
Yeah.
I can
So
go look at that.
one thing you didn't show is say where it needs sign off and you've got 23 bugs there, you can click on that and you'll get a report, and then you can, that's where it is underlying in Bugzilla, and you can obviously sort by severity, or so that's the one I use a lot. I just have that as a set as a tab, and then I did manage to get it down to 10, but a whole lot of the earlier, these are bugs that need sign off. So I tend to try and focus on the bugs first, and then before getting around to enhancements.
Yep.
Unless I can't make sense of any of the bugs and I've run out.
And mine will depend too, like if I'm like this afternoon, all I'm doing is testing, I might try and do some of the bigger ones that are going to take more time. But if I'm like, I have to change gears because I've been working on this other thing and my brain is melting and I need to do something different, then it's great to just be like, oh, what's like the oldest bug that's not a bywater person? Because I can't sign off on those. And then I'll go look at like, can I do that? So that's really helpful. And then this other link, that's just the whole everything that needs sign off. And the numbers don't match up. And part of that is the security ones, because they show up for me because I'm on the security team, but they wouldn't show up for Jason. And also I think there's a little bit of a delay in the, not like super long, but I've noticed that sometimes like a status will get updated and it'll take a couple minutes before it's moved over, like from needs sign off to needs QA. It was really noticeable when we first moved to this dashboard, but I think Martin's up to speed on that. But I wouldn't worry too much if it's off by a few numbers if you click this link, because there's reasons it might not show. So I think, oh no, now I can't see you because I stopped sharing my screen. So I think that about wraps us up. Our next meeting is August 14th. Same time, same place. And if we haven't yet, then we'll work on refactoring Jason's bug. And if we have / after that, maybe we can try with the diff again that we worked on last month.
Great. Thanks, Lizette and Jason.
Thanks, everyone.
And Andrew.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Catch you later.